The night was horrible. She could only manage a few minutes of sleep. With every waking moment, Jessie noticed strange bites on her body. At first, she didn't pay any attention, thinking they were just harmless bumps. However, after a few weeks, worry inevitably started to set in and take root. What is this? It itches and burns like fire. Now almost accustomed to it, Jessie had made it a habit to slather herself with calamine lotion for relief before going to work. Dinner, if it could even be called that, was dreadful every day. Nausea, vomiting, and a complete loss of appetite characterized her evenings. In all goodwill, she tried repeatedly to eat, day after day, but alas, it was in vain. Never able to swallow anything and deprived of sleep, Jessie was visibly weakening. At night, the sounds she heard in the walls made her shiver every time. Scratches, squeaks, and tiny thumps resonated to the point of making her bones tremble. She already had a deep fear of rodents, and now she had to contend with the worry of their species. Were they rats? Mice? From the sounds, they weren't small rodents, that was for sure. While mopping the floor, she couldn't help but notice a certain odor. Following her nose, she saw something moving under the table. Little black spots all over the floor in large numbers, moving. Leaning down, she saw large columns of tiny insects crawling up the central leg of the table. From her memory, it opened to add an extension in the middle to accommodate more guests. Without this extension, a large storage space was hidden inside. She thought that these little bugs must surely be hiding there. Jessie immediately opened the table. What she discovered took her breath away, causing her to lose her footing and stumble. With weak legs, she couldn't get back up. The inside of the kitchen table was packed with over 100 insects. Maggots, white worms, cockroaches, and a multitude of unwanted species lived right in her table. This place, which was supposed to be joyful and invigorating, where one enjoyed every meal with appetite and good cheer, had lost its purpose for her long ago. Seeing this infamous and monstrous population of slimy, wriggling insects piled on top of each other, she could finally understand her inability to nourish herself over the past few months. The smell emanating from it was overwhelming due to its heaviness. A vision of horror. Simply disgusting. In shock from this image, she thought it was better for now to stretch her legs on the bed rather than risk hurting herself by falling again in the kitchen. Immediately lying down, Jessie thought she was falling asleep, but in reality, she was gradually losing consciousness. Unconscious, everyone watched her. As she slept, they all devoured her. No, she was not alone as she had always naively believed. An imposing colony of spiders quickly latched onto her flesh like a gust of wind. In her bed, she was now accompanied. They all instinctively sought her vital warmth to deliver their bite. Thousands of spiders, millions of legs wriggled, making the sheets tremble. The shapes moved like legions of venomous ghosts. Woken by the pain, she jolted awake, seeing what was everywhere on her. This was what she had on her body every morning. Jessie barely had time to understand before she lost consciousness again, but this time from pain. The pain was unbearable, and she fell to the floor. Immediately, the scratching sounds in her bedroom wall became more pronounced. Growing increasingly insistent, the noises turned into thumps. At the base of the wall, there was a gnawed hole. A dirty, disease-ridden, starving family of mice emerged. They all ran towards Jessie, completely enraged. Defenseless and lying on the ground, they charged under her skirt. A pool of blood followed. 2 weeks later, there was a knock at the door, but no answer. A police officer broke down the front door because a neighbor had reported a strong odor emanating from the apartment. His surprise was total. A woman lay on the floor in a pool of blood. Jessie had begun to decompose. This once beautiful woman was now terrifying, blue, shriveled, and highly foul-smelling. The scent of death filled the air of the room completely. Kneeling, the police officer examined the corpse for evidence. As he got closer, he thought he saw it move. Crazy, he thought. No, he wasn't dreaming. Her jaw moved slowly, completely opening her mouth. Out of her came 7 bloody mice with eyes red with rage. He ran as fast as he could, realizing with disgust how the woman had died. Even though Jessie had come to understand why she could no longer sleep, why she was bitten every morning, and why she hadn't been able to eat for a long time, she never understood who had it in for her so much. What evil spirit haunted this place, and why had it made her worst fears appear by some sort of malevolent magic? Would this evil follow her reincarnated into her next life? For now, she had succumbed to her own blue fears, leaving her with this hue for eternity, making evil proudly the victor.